Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. We're here live. Back weeknights, 7 o'clock Central, InfoWars Nightly News. I want to open the phones up to have a debate, a discussion, a brainstorm, a think tank about your line in the sand. What is your line in the sand, and what are you doing to stop the tyrants from crossing that line in the sand? Or are you just saying, I got guns and ammo and I'm waiting for the blue helmets? It's not going to be blue helmets until after the Civil War. Then it will be blue helmets. Read the Rand Corporation National Stability Police Force Plan. This is the plan to destabilize things so bad, we beg for total federalization and beg for total surveillance. And now it's here. The general public's being targeted. If you're a cop, you're being targeted. If you're a school teacher, you're being targeted. I don't care who you are. This new world order is bad for you and your family. And if you want to make a decision for the next 10, 20, 30 years to sell out to it, to just kind of go along with it, to let them social engineer you, and to live high on the hog while you sell everybody out ahead of the population being forcibly reduced, humans merging with machines. This is what the elites say they're going to do, and they're doing it. If you think you're going to be successful with that game plan, with your soul and your family name and just common sense, you're crazy. Maybe you're totally nihilistic and don't care, don't plan to have children, don't care about your kids. Why sell out to the dark side? Why sell out to what's easy? Why sell out to not believing in humanity? Why sell out your children, your sons, your daughters? Now, so many people in the system rationalize what they're doing, and they're compartmentalized, and they do bad things, but they believe it's because the end justifies the means. That very Machiavellian precept is the essence of societal degeneration and dishonor. Societies based on honor and chivalry and quality and truthfulness and steadfastness create incredible inventions, incredible art, beauty, science, long life. But the byproduct is spoiled children, corrupt grandchildren, demonic, satanic great-grandchildren. And we are those children today, children of the beast. Children of the lie. On average. And it's my job to try to get people to get outside the box, to pull back, see the big picture, look at what I'm claiming, look at what I'm saying, look at the viruses they're rolling out in the vaccines for social engineering, look at the dropping IQs, and to get people to understand you're living in a real-world attempt to set up a dystopic technological technocracy that is designed to capture, harness, mutate, and finally destroy humanity. It is 100% pure, unadulterated death and destruction. You wonder why serial killers like to grab little kids and torture them for months. Things that are just the most horrible, dark energy anyone could imagine. And it's so alien, people hear about it and they just turn away. Imagine that times a billion. Imagine that energy manifests through robot armies and Skynet technology. It is going to take its time bringing us down and making us beg to be destroyed and enslaved, because the true bottom of the rat hole, the true bottom of Satan's pit, is that the system wants us with free will, though drugged and dazed, to stumble and worship the evil as if it's the solution and it's the idol, and to fall to our knees and embrace it before our free will is sucked out of us and our souls basically demagnetized to goodness. Our souls wiped and turned to that satanic energy. That's where we're going. Just as sure as the sun came up this morning on this planet, remember that. There's a whole universe around us, but the system wants us to think it's only what's on that television set, only what's on the nightly news, what the talking head says. When we know these talking heads work for institutions that have made the decision that you're not even conscious and that you're an animal and that you don't have a right to any freedom or any future. And so they're going to dumb you down and give you false maps of the world so that you become a joke and a failure. So you'll time and time again come to them for empowerment. No one can deny that the welfare state, the way it's done by the West, is meant to enslave, just as the welfare state and the company store and sharecropping, or the reservation with Native Americans, or the plantation is designed to have you totally dependent on the master. But this master doesn't want you to pull a plow or to cut the wheat or to tend the cattle. This master wants you in agonizing anguish and pain, gibbering after its flame like a moth, believing that oblivion in evil is your empowerment. When the answer to all our problems is waiting right there. But we have to, with free will, take it and make the spiritual decision first that I want to be good. I want to be enlightened. I want to be informed. I want to know how the world really works. I ask the creator of the universe in these incredible odds we're up against to give me the providence to have the prescience, or what the Bible calls discernment, so that I might survive to bring aid to others. And the world knows, the devil knows, that you have a good heart. So you will be falsely convicted by the angel of light that masquerades as an angel, by the culture, to tell you how you're bad and how you're guilty and how your little sins make you imperfect and make you bad, so you couldn't dare go speak at the front of the church. You couldn't dare call into talk radio. You couldn't dare start a radio show. You couldn't dare try to help somebody else or tell somebody when they're doing something destructive, because after all, you're not perfect. See how that works? How they guilt everyone. Oh, you're racist. Accept Obamacare. Oh, maybe your forebears had slaves. Maybe. Why 2% of the country had slaves? You're bad. You have to have guilt, not to go help other people that are less advantaged and actually help them yourself. That's how you really help somebody, by bringing them into your society and teaching them and lifting them up. Rising tide raises the ships. All ships, as Kennedy rightfully said. No. You do what Al Gore says, what Bill Clinton says, what Rachel Maddow says, what Barack Obama says, what Al Sharpton says, what Jesse Jackson says. And when you do what they say, now you've been forgiven by the high priest. You've come and made sacrifice to them. You've not owned guns. You've accepted higher taxes. You've gotten in line with the party line to feel like you belong. And so you've been sanctified in your little collectivist, progressive cult that's not even a real progressive cult. It's a eugenic, scientifically written, planned, neoliberal, anti-human, super-fascistic, mind-controlled cornucopia of anti-human venom. Then you got the Republicans run by the very same special interest trying to dance on our political graves, trying to make sure that no opposition can form through the Americana movement of true free market populism, constitutional ideas, common sense that people are desperate for. Like a diver whose air has run out, racing to the top is desperate for the surface, or a fish out of water is desperate for the sea. It's there, and the whole system is designed to turn it around and act like people that want basic freedom are weirdos, are dangerous, are bad. The people that get upset and say, I'm not a slave, are weird and aggressive. Show me one mammal that you're trying to enslave or drag off that won't fight. But we're trained to go along with it. But see, I'm not going to fight mindlessly just burning things down. I'm not going to fight shooting up a police station. I'm going to fight by warning people and showing them what's happening and doing what the enemy wants. I am not going to sit there and play games and follow the template that they've put out. Because the thing that the enemy wants us to do is to just be involved in a bunch of mindless, mob rule, hyped up garbage that the globalists can direct. What they don't want, the polar opposite, is for us to reach out to government, reach out to the police, reach out to the agencies, reach out to the corporations, reach out with our dollars with what we purchase and what we support. Reach out with our speech to others. Reach out to the media and support media that you think is promoting freedom. Fight media that isn't. Using the First Amendment. And I know what I'm saying is common sense, but it's a revolutionary idea. To just tell it like it is and expose the larger paradigm. All right, here's the toll-free number. We're opening the phone systems up. What is your line in the sand? And what are you doing to try to stop that line from being crossed? Because people talk about, oh, I'll get violent if they keep pushing. You should be doing everything you can peacefully to fix things to try to stop it from getting violent. And I'll assure you, a lot of you out there that won't get politically involved or won't try to wake people up who are just preparing for violence, when it comes time, you're not going to defend yourself. In almost every case, you're not going to do it wisely, or you're going to do it at some target that doesn't hurt the New World Order and actually empowers their system. Most violent revolutions fail or create something worse. That's a well-known fact in history. Most Renaissance revolutions, Renaissance systems of freedom, most velvet revolutions, most revolutions of ideas that are better than the oppressive system, those are successful historically. And those are what the system is scared of. It doesn't matter if you're in government or in the corporate system or the private sector or a retiree or black or white or old or young or Hispanic. The New World Order wants you broke. They want you under government health care control. They want to run your life. They hate your free will. They crave control. And they hate warriors. Even if they direct our warriors to carry out evil wars, they hate the men that are willing to go out and do it. These globalists absolutely have disdain for you because they are such craven scum. And that's why they target you with deadly time-released bioweapons and the vaccines. That's why they target you when you get out with extrajudicial garbage to strip you of your rights. And I'll tell the police something. If the globalists hate fighting men, do you think they like you? They hate you just as much or more. And you are being targeted as well. And the police know that instinctively. Doesn't matter if they try to hire cops that aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer. The experience of real life and experiencing real evil and experiencing human nature and being forced into stressful situations over and over again every day brings police up to a level of seasoning and hardening that makes them absolute threats to the New World Order. Because if we ever take the states or the federal government back, it'll be the police that are going and arresting when the grand juries indict people like Henry Kissinger and others. And so they want you all blackmailed on a very short leash under their control. Toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. How do we stop the Civil War? How do we stop Obama and the Democrats trying to stir up race riots across the country? How do we stop them while still preserving the First Amendment? 800-259-9231. We are continuing for the next few days the specials that we have been running last Wednesday through today. We've been running different specials every single day. We are continuing all of the specials simultaneously while supplies last. We've sold out of the B12, Secret 12. We're almost sold out of Super Male Vitality. We're almost sold out of DNA Force. We're almost sold out of Silver Bullet, Colloidal Silver. Here's an example. You can get 20% off and free shipping single bottles of Silver Bullet, 30 parts per million from InfoWarsLife.com. When you get 4 bottles, you get the 5th free and 20% off the other 4 and free shipping. Nobody's got a deal anywhere near that. We're continuing it. We're running this week on prisonplanet.tv. It's not $59.95 like it was previously. It's $29.95. That's even better than the Christmas special we do once a year. 20 people can use each membership. Takes about a minute to sign up. See the nightly news, so much more. If you've been a member and let it lapse, or you've never been a member, now is the time. And there's a typo on there. It was never $95.99. It was $59.95 for a year. You could get like 5 months free when you sign up at Christmas. This is even more off, $29.95. That's half off right now. Prisonplanet.tv. Stay with us, InfoWarsLife.com. Coming up, we're going to look at energy. Why is oil at $40 a barrel right now? And why are they talking about $2 and below in southern U.S. states? Well, because we have a rigged energy system on record, and they want to gouge us, but now they want to bankrupt Russia, so we're going to get the byproduct of cheap energy. That's what's happening. And what it shows is that OPEC and the oil-producing countries have a totally rigged system. And when they're done bankrupting Russia and shutting down their oil industry, oh, baby, you're going to be paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon. The UN has said they want on average $12 a gallon gas for the earth because that'll make you drive less. So don't worry. Enjoy the low prices while you get them. Enjoy it, because when they're done bankrupting Russia, get ready, Katie bar the door. Then we're going to start the next hour and go to Mark, George, Wildman, Terry, Nichols, and others. And it's a free-for-all, long-time callers, first-time callers. You name it. When you hear a caller hang up, it's your chance to get involved on air. 800-259-9231. Now, I could sit here and read 100 articles an hour to you on air and make the show real interesting. And I will cover a bunch of news I haven't gotten to in the next hour as well. But first, I'm going to take a bunch of calls. But this issue of Al Sharpton at the White House trying to fire up racial tensions and Obama to convene all these meetings. NFL says no discipline for Rams players over their protest. Farrakhan threatens to tear this God-bleeping country apart. In fact, we have that clip. We'll play that here in a moment. This is about balkanization and about the Democratic Party not collapsing because it hasn't delivered all the free goodies it said it would. Instead, it's delivered lower wages, hours being cut, payroll taxes going up. Black folks have doubled their unemployment. And so all the system has is just go right to tribalism, right to racism. And they also know that the middle class is fed up and scared of the system. So they want the middle class to come begging and accept the militarization of police and the whole domestic spy grid in the name of stopping rioting and looting. That's why I ask, what's your line in the sand? I mean, I don't support the guy that reportedly shot up the police station because he was mad about open borders and shot up the Mexican consulate. I think that's pretty much terrorism. Just like shooting at fire department people is terrorism. Folks said, what, you're saying blacks are terrorists? Well, this guy that shot up the police department was white as a, driven snow. Is that because I'm against white people? No, because shooting up the police station's a bad idea. And it makes political speech look bad when you tie it to it. You ought to bomb all these police departments with news and information and talking to people and showing them the plan to federalize them and take their liberties and take their families' bank accounts and take their pensions. We ought to bomb the country with truth and liberty and renaissance and freedom, not with beating up. Imagine if two white guys were beating up a black lady at Papa John's because a white person had been shot months before. I mean, it would be incredible racism on the news, and it would be. You've got anti-white garbage going on now in Missouri. It's disgusting, and the police are standing down because they've been told by the feds, let it get going, or the feds will indict you. They're telling cops, you do anything to somebody who's black in Ferguson, who's breaking the law, you're going to get indicted by Al Sharpton, the Attorney General. Again, I just want to plug at the end of the hour because I barely talked about this for 1 minute earlier. We're offering the biggest deals we've ever offered across the board on colloidal silver, silver bullet at InfoWarsLife.com. 20% off and a free bottle and free shipping. We're just doing it to just be total capitalist and just to be known as the place with the lowest prices, highest quality. We've got the Super Prep Pack, $15 off the combos, Survival Shield, and Silver Bullet. And we've got half off on PrisonPlanet.tv nightly news memberships at PrisonPlanet.tv. We've never done that before. PrisonPlanet.tv. Stay with us. Globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.